What's up, Facebook world? Live stream, Noel Walsh here. Sorry I'm a little late. I said I would be 6:30 Eastern time. I'm closer to 6:40. Had to run the kids around, get suited up, get showered up, all that after working out. Making calls all day, trying to help people achieve their dreams. Gunslinger in the house, conquer what you chase. But what I wanted to talk about today is a video I did yesterday that was poor lighting. I got very few views or engagement, but about the mindset we want to take on. If we want to be a victor, a winner, or a victim and a loser. And I talked about this yesterday, but a victor comes up with ways to do things. I talked to Chad Lynn. I've been texting him all day. I talked with him for 40 minutes last night. You might have saw I posted that. But I talked with him, and the guy just wants to learn more knowledge. He wants to learn from somebody who did it. He did 62 cars. My best is 37. I never did close to 62. I've never seen 62 in person, ever. I've heard talks of people who are doing 40, 50, 60 cars a month. My owner at Varsity Ford was known to have done 70 cars back in his heyday in the 70s. But my best was 37. That was the best month I ever saw there. And very few times did people crack the 30 mark, and we could come up with excuses like, well, that's because we did everything from front to end, preparing the phones, to signing up the deals, to all these other things that we did at Varsity Ford, which I love because it gave me the knowledge of what it's like to work all the different departments. And I mean, you're talking about working from the entry line departments to the high line departments, you know, closing, presenting figures, putting my own numbers together and all that. But I talked to Chad Lynn, and the guy's just thirsty for knowledge, and he's shared some things he was thinking about doing, and sure enough, he implemented them right away. So I mean, that's something that a victor, a winner does, is they're like, I'm doing great, you know, I did 62 in February, I did 40 something in March, and he was having a tough day. We talked back and forth. He did 5 cars yesterday, and I appreciate the props for that, Chad, thank you very much. But you know, now he's at 27 or thereabouts, and he wants to get back to that 62. That's something a victor does, a winner does. A victim could be like, well, when I did 62, you know, we had these good programs, or we had all this used car inventory, and now we don't, so it's not my fault, I can't do it, it's impossible, it won't work out. That's dialogue of a victim. Another example is I talked to Brady Fuller today, and thank you for everything, Brady. Always nice chatting with you. And he's got some stuff going on, like we all do. And he's having a tough month, but yet his attitude's still up, and he's still trying. You know, he's still trying different things. He wants to gain more knowledge. He's still hungry and thirsty for more knowledge, and he's not going about it as well. You know, I'm not getting enough ups. I'm not getting any response from the mails I'm sending out, from the mailers I'm sending out, the mail I'm sending out. I'm not getting any response from this. He's just like, well, you know, I'm trying this, and I just reiterated, like I did on my live video when I was taking the kids to get the slushie and we went on a little Jeep ride, but that it doesn't happen overnight. You can talk to the best in the business, and they can give you their pointers, their nuggets, their knowledge, but very rare does somebody like Chad Lynn get to the numbers they're at right away. Or a Chris Buchel who was selling 30 cars and he got there quick, and then he changed dealerships, and in 3 months he got back up to 30. Very rarely are we able to see these results. And when we talk to people who get those results, we want to find out how they did it, and then we want to implement it, but we can't get frustrated when we don't get the same success instantly. Okay? So we've got to stick with it. If it worked for somebody else, it will work for us. Everybody's market's different, but it's the same. You know, I used to sell Ford, and it's A-plan market, and everybody says, oh, A-plan, everybody gets A-plan. It's a set price. How easy is that? Well, there's a lot of set price stores now anyways, but there's still interest rate. There's still trade to haggle about. There's still people wanting you to pay 3 payments on their lease, and when you have the A-plan rules, you can't play with any eat payments and stuff like that people do at stores. So, I mean, we all have the same parameters that we're working on. We all have customers. Yeah, in the Northeast, they might be different than the Southwest, different than the Midwest, different than the West Coast. Of course they are. but it's all on how you attract the customer, how you engage the customer, and really how you treat the customer when you get them in front of you in the presence you create. And these are things that winners do. These are things that victors do. And that's why they're always on top. And that's why the victims, it's easy for the victims to attack the victors. Because it's easier to say how it's lucky for somebody, or they get all house deals or all bones, because they aren't doing it. But some of the most bones I've seen are the people who kiss the most tail. And they were never big producers or big winners or big victors. But they just did that, and they were the ones complaining the most that somebody else was getting something like they were entitled to it. That's the mentality of a victim. That's the mentality of a loser. You know, what you've got to do every day that you step into the office, you step into the dealership, you step into your cubicle, you step into your desk, whatever the case may be at your dealership, is go in and get ready to play. Get ready to win. Get ready to be a victor, to be victorious. Get ready to serve your customers, because people really know if you care about them and if you really want to take care of their needs. You know, I see people all the time that, oh yeah, I always flip them to the car with the most gross. You know, that's good in a sense, but people can tell when you keep trying to sell them something. If they want something, wouldn't you rather have a deal in an hour and a half with a happy customer, selling them what they want? Might not be the greatest commission or that, but the vehicle needed to go, rather than trying to spend 4.5 hours push them into something, and then they go home to think about it, and then they end up buying the vehicle that they wanted to buy from you in an hour and a half at your competitor. You just wasted 4.5 hours. So use your time wisely. Use your time like a victor. Use your time like a winner. Don't use your time like a victim, like a loser. No matter what, attitude is altitude. Always keep your attitude up. Always keep that of a winner. Always reach out to people who are winning. I mean, if anybody reaches out to me, I'll be on threads I'm mountain time, so most people are that's why I always go by Eastern time. I'm on mountain time, and so I'm usually 2 hours earlier, but I'll be on threads at 11:30, 12 o'clock my time. These people are on the East Coast Central time at 1, 2 in the morning, and they're trying to pick my brain. And you know what? If the kids are in bed and my wife's asleep and I'm just going to watch TV or read a book anyways, like, I'll get more content talking to them. I'll get more value talking to them. So I just talked to a guy today who I used to work with, Tom Lagan, and he said, you know, I missed sitting by Noel Walsh and that, and believe me, I was cocky. I mean, I was good, and I was that victor who was getting attacked by the victims a lot. So it gave me kind of a bad attitude, and kind of put me in that funnel mode, which is important in certain cases, but it's good to share, and that's why I got into the sales training end and the coaching end and the consulting end. Is I want to share what I have. I love getting on stage and speaking about how I did it, and I always throw out the numbers I made, and I've even used that in my advertisements, and I've had some feedback that people say, oh, that's cocky, that's arrogant, and it's not, because that's how I took myself to the next level. Is, believe me, if I was working at Expressway Ford or Expressway Chevrolet with Chad Lynn, who's doing 62, or Kurt Sieb, who's doing 42, doing 30 something average on a regular basis, like, I would feed off them. That would give me the competition to take it to the next level. You know, and that's what you want. You want that victor mentality, that you want to be surrounded by those people. And when somebody comes in and beats you, that's a great thing I loved about Kurt and talking to Chad, is Kurt's like, yeah, it reopened my eyes. Like, he was at the top, he was complacent, he was comfortable. But it took him back on the focus that, hey, yeah, I created this residual, repeat, referral business. So now at times I'm not sure how well I am talking at fresh ups. And we don't want to deal with the hassle of fresh ups, you know, looking you up and down and this and that. And because when you have a referral or a repeat, they come in and you've already got the reputation built out there, that you don't have to work on building a reputation. They know who you are, they trust you, they know what you do, they know you're a professional. So how I want to end this is just, if you want to live life elevated, you want to do everything you want in life, you want to give your family the life they deserve, have the mentality of a victor, of a winner, okay? When things aren't going your way, talk to somebody or find out or go back to the basics of how you can get back to that level. And don't ever be that victim, that losing mentality, It's their fault, it's their fault, it's their fault. I can't do it here because we had a rainy day, we got a foot of snow, we have cold winters, we have this, we have that. It's out there for the taking. Gunslinger, out, conquer what you chase.